Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about tribal health. Learning objectives for today's lecture are: you should be able to understand the percentage of tribal population in India and its geographical location, to appreciate triple burden of disease among tribal community, to enumerate the problems faced by tribal people, and last, to understand the role of government in tribal welfare. Now let us see the definition. Who is tribal? The tribe is a distinct people dependent on their land for their livelihood, who are largely self-sufficient and not integrated in the national society. They are given some essential characteristics like they have primitive traits, a peculiar geographical isolation, a distinct culture, shy of contact with community at large, and most important, economically backward. Now let us see what is the percentage of tribes in India. As per 2011 census, 8.61% of total population is tribal population, and the land area covered is 15%. Likewise, there are 705 tribal communities in India. Out of that, 75 are called as primitive tribal communities. And Article 342 of Indian Constitution defines scheduled tribes. Now let us see the distribution. As far as numbers are concerned, Madhya Pradesh is having highest number of tribals, followed by Maharashtra, whereas the percentage of tribal people is highest in Lakshadweep. Now this is map of India showing percentage of scheduled tribe population. We can see different color codings. Now the green having maximum tribal population 40% and above. Now let us see tribal distribution in state of Maharashtra. As I told you, it is the second largest tribal population in the country, account for 10.6% of scheduled tribe population. There are 47 tribes, which includes 3 particularly vulnerable tribal groups. In Maharashtra state, tribes mainly reside in forest areas of Sahyadri, Satpura and Gondwana. And there are 5 high priority districts: Dhule, Gadchiroli, Jalgaon, Nanded and Nandurbar. So this is map of Maharashtra showing concentration of ST population in different districts of Maharashtra. We can see here the red color indicates maximum concentration, and these districts are Yavatmal, Chandrapur, Gadchiroli, Bhandara, Gondia and Dhulia, Nandurbar. Now let us see some of the prominent NGOs and doctors working in tribal areas who we see as role models. Now, first and foremost, we see the Search Organization in Gadchiroli. It was started by Dr. Abhay Bang and Dr. Ali Bang. It's a remote district of Maharashtra, and he has given to the world the concept of home-based newborn care, and this model was successful, and even the entire world has taken cognizance of this model, accepted by WHO, and it is replicated in 40 countries. Dr. Bang has been awarded Padma Shri, Maharashtra Bhushan, and our university in the convocation ceremony awarded him DSc degree for his pioneering work in tribal health. We can see photograph of Dr. Abhay Bang and Dr. Rani Bang, founder of Search. Some of the photographs. Now here we can see this rural tribal women having a kit. Now they are trained, such tribal women given a kit after training, and by virtue of that, Dr. Bang was successful to reduce infant mortality rate and neonatal mortality rate in that area by almost 60%. We can see in this map that this model has been replicated in India and other parts of the world. These are some of the photographs of the campus. Now, apart from work in MCH, he also has a pioneering work in de-addiction. He had a main role in declaring the district of Gadchiroli as free of alcohol. Now, after MBBS, you can visit this place. He is also conducting some camps for doctors who are interested in rural work, tribal work. The second notable example is Padma Shri Dr. Prakash Amte and Mandakini Amte. Dr. Prakash Amte is son of Baba Amte, is founder of Anandvan, a center for leprosy patients. So we can see again he has transformed the lives of tribals to the dedicated service in the Bhamragarh area. Also awarded Magsaysay Award. Another notable example in Maharashtra where Padma Shri Dr. Ravindra Kole and Dr. Smita Kole were working in Melghat. One more example, Dr. Kapal, Dr. Ashish Satav and Dr. Kavita Satav were working in Melghat region. And here I must tell you that malnutrition is a major problem in tribal communities. And to tackle that, Dr. Satav has come out with long-term solution. Now he has educated tribals to make kitchen gardens, and by use of kitchen gardens, such 1,000 kitchen gardens he has developed and promoted, and which takes care of needs of nutrition of the tribal people at low cost. Now, what is contribution of our university? As you all know, Provana Institute of Medical Sciences, they have established one tribal health center in Bhandardara region in Akole Taluka of Ahmedabad district, which is a predominantly tribal area. Now, they conduct comprehensive health care, referral, mobile van, motorbike ambulances. The center is also used for research by UG/PG students of RMC, MBA students of Center of Social Medicine. Now recently, one student from 3rd First MBBS, Niku Kumar, got STS ICMR scholarship under my guidance, and the topic was study of occupational hazards of agricultural workers in tribal area. The center successfully organized a national tribal conference this year. We can see some of the photographs You can see the motorbike ambulance. It can reach to the remote place where the roads are narrow. These are the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Without intervention, there is a danger that they will there will be complete extinction of these tribals. Now, in India, they have identified 75 such particularly vulnerable tribal groups, whereas we got three in Maharashtra, namely Katkari in Thane and Raigad district, Malia Gond in Gadchiroli district, and Kolams in Yavatmal district. Now, this table shows the major tribes in Maharashtra. We've got Bhil, Gond, Koli Mahadev, Warli, Kokana, Thakur, and other tribes. Here we can see the Warli paintings. So as far as occupations are concerned, initially Katkaris were collecting kath from the khair tree, but in due course of time now they are engaged in brick making. The Gond tribes in central India and Vidarbha in Maharashtra, the language spoken is Gondi, and their main occupation is growing tobacco and making liquor from mahua tree. Then we have got Kolam tribe. Again, this is a particularly vulnerable tribe. They are dependent on agriculture. Now, what are the problems of tribal in India? Basically, lack of infrastructure is the biggest problem. We got a lot of health facilities in urban area and very meager facilities in tribal area. So reaching the unreached is the big challenge in front of all of us. Lack of development facilities and services. Poor representation of tribal area on public fronts. Malnutrition is very common. Child mortality is high. Now diseases like malaria, TB, leprosy are also exceptionally high. The tribal population lives predominantly in hilly and forested areas. They are scattered across large areas with low density of population. One positive thing which I came across is the sex ratio for females. Can you imagine? It is 990 per 1000 males. It is favorable for females. What must be the reason? Are tribals more civilized? Because in urban areas there are more ultrasound machines, self-determination, and female feticides. Now, socioeconomic status mainly dependent on agriculture, forest produce, hunters, herders. 40% live below poverty line. So poverty is the big problem. Then access to tap water, open air defecation, illiteracy. These are the major issues. Then again the quality of education. So in this bar diagram we can see the literacy among ST and compared with the general population, we can see it is less as compared. Further, quality is a big issue. As per the annual status of education report from rural tribal district, one finding was 93% of students studying in class 5 could not read class 2 textbooks. So we can imagine what must be the quality. Now this table shows you the housing and household amenities, and we can clearly see here is lack of drinking water source and sanitary latrines, which leads to water and soil-borne diseases. Coming to health status of tribal people, life expectancy is low. As far as maternal health is concerned, there is early marriage, early childbirth, low BMI, anemia. These are very common. 50% of the girls are underweight. Anemia prevalence is more than 65%. ANC coverage, full ANC coverage is less. Institutional delivery rate is less. Home delivery is common. And high infant mortality rate. So there is a triple burden of disease, meaning thereby malnutrition and communicable disease, the non-communicable disease, and mental health and addictions. It's very, very important. Now let us see some of the health indicators of tribal population, like infant mortality rate, neonatal mortality rate, under 5 mortality rate, immunization coverage, life expectancy at birth, total fertility rate, and life expectancy. And we can see that compared to overall India, they're performing at a low. This table shows you the indicators of MCH, maternal and child health indicators. And again here we can see poverty, low level of literacy, poor nutritional status, lack of healthcare facility, all leads to poor health indicators. In this table, there is a comparison of nutritional status of tribal children and rest of the India. And here we can very well see that there is high prevalence of undernutrition, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, a vicious cycle of malnutrition and infection. Now, what are the causes of malnutrition in tribal area? First and foremost, inadequate quantity as well as quality of the diet, especially for children and pregnant women. Then lack of education and ignorance. I told you the example of Dr. Rajiv Satav. He has educated the tribals to grow kitchen gardens, and this will go a long way in preventing malnutrition. And unhygienic living leads to infection. I told you that there is a vicious cycle between infection and malnutrition. Delayed complementary feeding is delayed up to 1 to 1.5 years of age. So major factor in causing malnutrition. In early age of marriage. Now it is seen that in some tribal areas, a girl gets married at age of 14 and she becomes grandmother at age of 28. Now let us say about iron deficiency anemia. It's very, very common. And the factors may be early age of conceiving, less spacing, multiparity, unhygienic methods of parturition, postpartum hemorrhage. Now we can see that vitamin A deficiency is also very, very common. Then we got rickets, we can see in the photograph. Then coming to communicable disease, I told you that because of lack of safe drinking water supply, lack of sanitary latrines, lot of waterborne and soil-borne disease are very common, like diarrhea, dysentery, parasitic infections. There is high prevalence of malaria in tribal population. The prevalence may be as high as 50% with Plasmodium falciparum, and which accounts for 30 to 90% of infections in forested area. It's quite a high number. And proximity to forest is the major factor. So malaria is very important public health problem of tribal area. Then we have tuberculosis. Now we can see here, prevalence of tuberculosis is 1500 per 1 lakh in tribes compared to 703 per lakh in other areas. So almost double. And what must be the factors for high prevalence? Now, inaccessibility to healthcare, increasing HIV, and maybe malnutrition are the contributing factors. In Melghat area of Maharashtra, even TB of spine and TB of skin are common. Then genetic disorders are very, very common because of inbreeding, consanguineous marriages. We got very high proportion of genetic disorders in tribal communities. The common is sickle cell anemia, then G6PD deficiency, thalassemia, hemoglobin E. Now we can see in the map of India, we can see colored dots, where the red colored dot indicates very high prevalence of sickle cell anemia. Then G6PD deficiency is also very, very high in tribes. So coming to non-communicable disease in tribal communities, first is hypertension. Now surprisingly, prevalence of hypertension in adult men in tribal communities 14.8 to 19.9%, and adult female it is 10.8 to 18.5%. Awareness about hypertension is very low. And more important than that, there is very poor health-seeking behavior. The next non-communicable disease is diabetes. The prevalence is 6.6% in men and 5.5% in women. Now another very important non-communicable disease is cancer. There is a very high prevalence of cancer in Aizawl district in Mizoram and Papum Pare district in Arunachal Pradesh. And they have studied what are the factors responsible for high prevalence of cancer in these districts. There is excessive consumption of tobacco, betel nut, alcohol, smoked meat. Another thing, addictions are very, very common. Very high percentage of men as well as women are addicted to tobacco and alcohol. We can see here. So snake bites are very, very common in tribal area because they are staying in jungles, forests. So high disease burden in tribes can be attributed to poverty, undernutrition, poor environmental sanitation, hygiene, lack of safe drinking water supply, lack of access to health services, and social barriers. Now, why there is low utilization of health services in tribal areas? Now, firstly, the population is scattered over a wide geographical area. So there are difficult terrains and hilly areas. Poorly located sub-centers, primary health centers and community health centers. And that is why government has relaxed the norms of population for setting up these facilities in tribal area. Service providers are not available. Now many doctors and healthcare workers are not willing to go to tribal areas. Lack of suitable transport facilities for quick referral of emergency cases. I have seen photograph of a lady being transported on the shoulder about 20 kilometers to reach a primary health center because there are no roads. Lack of HRD policies to encourage and motivate service providers to work in tribal areas. Then inadequate utilization of non-governmental organizations. In the beginning, I gave you examples of few prominent NGOs like that of Search, who are working really good. There is lack of integration with other health sectors and other sectors like maybe agriculture, rural development. Then health education is not adequate, health literacy is not there. Some of the services are not client friendly, so people don't feel that it is their felt need. Now there are cultural barriers to access. Language barrier is very important. Non-involvement of local traditional faith leaders. Again, if we involve them meaningfully, it will be a very good thing because people have faith in them. Weak monitoring and supervision is one more factor. So what is the solution? The solution is integrated tribal development. So only concentrating on health is not sufficient. We have to look at various aspects for integrated development like promotion of culture, craft, heritage and crops, promotion of sports, housing, connectivity, irrigation, drinking water facility, sanitation, education, social empowerment, economic development, and protection of right. So all these things are equally important and together they will improve the tribal community. So promoting community participation is one important activity. Then behavior change communication is also very important to address their misbeliefs. Proper education is very much important. We need to conduct some curative camps, specialty camps in tribal areas periodically, like gynecology and obstetric camp, pediatrics camp, de-addiction camp, surgical camp, HIV/AIDS detection camp, lifestyle modification camp, and as I told you that genetic disorders are very common, we can conduct a special camp for detect sickle cell anemia and other genetic disorders. We may conduct camp for tuberculosis detection. Now these are the norms for health infrastructure and manpower in tribal area. We can see here, normally we have a sub-center for 5,000 population. They have relaxed the norm for tribal area to 3,000. Normally we have primary health center for 30,000 population, but for hilly and tribal areas, they have relaxed to 20,000 population. Then for community health center, they have relaxed norm of population to 80,000 population. And for health workers, again they have relaxed the norm for 3,000 population. Now let us see what are various tribal welfare programs or schemes in India for tribals. We have integrated tribal development project, nursery cum women welfare centers, midday meal schemes, Janashala programs, tribal alternate education program, strengthening education among scheduled tribe girls in low literacy districts, incentives for education, ashram schools, pre-matric and post-matric hostels, grant in aid schemes for welfare of scheduled tribes, scholarships, book bank scheme, central sector scheme for upgradation of merit of students, and tribal research center. Now these are the areas which are covered under Vanabandhu Kalyan Yojana. Qualitative and sustainable employment, emphasis on quality education and higher education, accelerated economic development of tribal areas, health for all, housing for all, safe drinking water for all at doorsteps, irrigation facilities suited to the terrain, all weather roads with connectivity to nearby town or cities, universal availability of electricity, robust institutional mechanism to roll vehicle of development with sustainability, promotion and conservation of tribal cultural heritage, promotion of sports in tribal areas, and providing security. So we have come to an end of this presentation. See this photograph. So this photograph is from Jarawa tribes, Andaman Island, India. And see the quote. The outsiders are bad men. The abusers, I prefer to stay in jungle. So this is a particular community which is on verge of extinction. They are reluctant to come in contact with the remaining civilized world. Lastly, I would suggest you to read following books: Indian Association of Preventive and Social Medicines Textbook of Community Medicine and Textbook of Community Medicine by Park, 25th edition. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.